and I want you to be patient with me because we're about to talk Sixers, and you're going to want to flip a table here at the end. So they've lost 3 straight, 5 of their last 6. 20-32 on the season, back-to-back losses to both the Pistons and the Bucks. They are in 11th. Now, both of those losses were with their big 3 of Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. And both of those losses were against a Pistons team with no Cade Cunningham and a Bucks team without Giannis. So yesterday, and this is where it gets irritating, Joel Embiid said that he's going to need another surgery and a long recovery to get his knee right. I feel like we're living in a parallel universe, Chandler. Did you or did you not say this in the month of October?
I sure did. And I'm not looking for my flowers, my praise. But it's been obvious since he played in the Olympics. It's been obvious that since he's been in the Olympics, he hasn't been himself. He hasn't moved. You can tell just to watch him play. Like he doesn't move like he was that MVP season. He's clearly in pain. His leg, his knee swells up. And I've been on this since literally training camp. The dude is not right. We need to shut him down and think big picture next season when we do have this big 3 back together. Continue to work in Paul George. Continue to develop Tyrese Maxey and do an all-star level player every single season. And then you kind of have this our big all-world everything fully healthy. But it's just putting a Band-Aid on, doing what he's doing, the load management. And I know he got murdered for saying he's not going to play in back-to-backs. It's because he needed surgery. It's because he's trying to manage his knee and his pain and his swelling. Like, so to me, this isn't news. To me, this is the same thing that he needed in the beginning of the season, the same thing he needed playing in the Olympics this summer, which again, people can maybe look to that and be like, well, so why did he play in the Olympics? And that's a whole nother, discussion. But the dude's never been right, and this team is not going to be a championship team with him not right. So I do think he needs to have the surgery immediately and look towards next season, because now you're starting to miss some time next year if you continue to delay this and wait. So you have to be smart, especially with his injury history.
Yeah, the writing is on the wall. You just got to read it at this point. You take losses like that; those are 2 tough losses to take without their star players. No Cade Cunningham. No Giannis. Like, you take losses with your big 3 at this point in the season. I mean, when do you decide to make when you try to turn it around, or when do you try to just say pull the plug and let's just get him surgery, let's try to get him healthy for next year and try to build for that? Because right now the way he's looking, said he's not confident in his body or his knee, and it just seems like injury after injury this year has been a bad year for him injury wise. And with Paul George and everybody else on the lineup, not just those guys, they've had sicknesses, they have a bunch of stuff down the line. At this point, it's like, all right, maybe we should just try to have one pick, I think, that's protected in the top 6. I don't know if they will even get that. But at this point, it's like, let's just try to get him 100% healthy. And he takes his time from now until then, where there's no excuses, to be ready for the beginning of the season next year and have our big 3 healthy. If you want to still try to keep those guys together and surround them with the right pieces and give it one last shot at a run in a championship, because that window is very small with those other 2. Tyrese has some years, of course, but the other 2, the window is very small with Joel and Paul George. So yeah, at this point right now, looking at how things are playing out, I would expect them to try to, talk him into like, all right, we might need to just sit you down and get you correct.
I mean, what?
And worry about next season.
But like, why? What's taking so long? You're 4 months and counting into a recovery that could have already been underway. And now and he's telling you, he's just said out loud, I'm going to have surgery. If you're a Sixers fan, I feel for you. This has got to be beyond frustrating. Like, what is this?
And what's crazy is, and I understand what they're doing. They're not ready to throw in the towel when they have so much talent on that roster.
The towel has been thrown in. The towel is on fire.
And then think about this. The one young dude they have that came out of nowhere is going to be runaway rookie of the year, Jared McCain. He goes down with an injury. So it's like, especially when he went down, and then PG's been out of the lineup, and Joel, it's like, guys, what are we doing here? Like, it's not like you're just throwing away the season and completely going in rebuild tank mode. You just throw in this season and you get ready for next year, and you're really, really good and looking good going into next season. So I don't know why they delayed it. Obviously, they want to win. They think they can win it if they're healthy now. They're pretty simple. They're not healthy, so they're not going to win.
What?
Yeah, I mean, Joel, him playing at an MVP caliber level, they can beat anybody. In the East, it's always, open, but he's not looking like the MVP that we've seen last year and the year before. He's got to get healthy. He's got to take care of his body, and they got to kind of save him from himself at this point, because I think he's pushing it because of the statements he made early in the year, and the fans kind of question that. Like, I've done so much for the city, and they're like, no, you haven't done anything. You get paid to do this. So he kind of is pushing himself, pushing his body, but it's at some point you got to kind of save him from himself and make him sit out and like, listen, all right, we're just going to try to do what we can to get a top 6 pick at this point. Hopefully surround you guys with somebody great and get you guys healthy.
Guys, I don't think he's the one. This is where it gets confusing. I don't know that he's like, no, I'm adamant that I got to go in, because in the following reason, Daryl Morey also spoke to reporters, and he said that the Sixers are still focused on winning a championship. Oh, okay, that's fair. But he thinks that this could still be a special season for the team. How are we defining the word special here, Chandler? Because this is 20 and 32 is 20 and 32.
Yeah, listen, they're better than the Nets, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Wizards. Those are the teams in the Eastern Conference that are kind of trying to lose to get one of these top 3 picks in this draft coming up. Besides that, this is just, they've been doomed from jump with injuries and more injuries. So again, they're not just going to magically heal. Jared McCain's not just going to get fixed. Joel Embiid's knee is just not going to heal itself. So they have created such a hole that it's impossible for this season to get turned around. Joel is not going to be healthy come playoff time. Jared McCain's not going to be healthy come playoff time. So they're never going to be whole and be that team that they were supposed to be when they were going to compete for a championship. It's not even a fair discussion. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
I mean, unless something miraculously happens where Joel gets back healthy quickly after All-Star break, he becomes back, a new guy. It's gonna be tough to see. But to make a special season, I don't see them winning a championship. Even when that happens, they can possibly get to the Eastern Conference Finals if the matchups are right. If they match up with the Knicks or the Cavaliers somehow, and they win that round and don't meet Boston until the Eastern Conference Finals, which said I don't think they've been in yet in a while. So that would make it a special season for them if they get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's doable if Joel miraculously. But a lot of us aren't seeing the miracle that they're looking for happening. But that could be something to be looking forward to. Said if he thinks he knows more than we do behind the scenes of what his health is, and if he thinks Joel can come back and push them to an Eastern Conference Finals, I love the hope. I love the hope, but.
I think I know more. I think I know more than he does, and he's not getting fixed magically. It's not happening.
He just told you.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Like, he verbalized the surgery word. The word surgery was said, and also this is a Daryl Morey thing. It's like a saying: "You're peeing on my leg and calling it rain." Like, no, none of this is happening. It's not going to be special. No. It's over, and you got to make a tough decision. It feels daunting, I'm sure, but okay. There's a moment.
Make it special. Also, sorry to
interrupt. Miracle. Many miracles.
And it could be a blessing in disguise. What can make it special is they get a top 6 pick and they end up going into next year with that person and Joel and the big 3. And, this season, you could take something great from the season. Jared McCain come back healthy. Now you have a roster that can push you to make, not this season special, but a special group for next season. That's the only way, another way that I could see it. Yeah, special result.
Look at you Look at Danny spinning it. He's spinning it as positively as he possibly can.
Get a top 3 pick. Top 3 pick where you can get Harper, Ace Bailey, or Cooper Flag. Then they're cooking. But I don't know, man.
But also, stop postponing the inevitable if there's surgery coming. Like, that is going to piss people off. There's a moment from the Pistons game, little moment between Joel Embiid and Kelly Oubre Jr. having words, something about Oubre just not getting back on defense. They squashed the issue eventually, but given everything that we've just talked about, right? Like, Chandler, I don't know. It feels a little much to me.
You know what? I actually respect it. Joel, at the end of the day, he's their leader, and they go at each other. They both said what they needed to say. And then they hug it out. And again, I think that is growth. That's maturity. And we've all gotten into it with teammates before. And at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. I have my take. You have your take. All right, now let's figure it out. Let's get back to basketball and how we can, help this team win games. So I got no problem with this. I actually like this. I like that they still care enough. And at this point of the season where that they're actually competing and arguing because they want to win. If you're a coach on that staff, or you're Daryl Morey, you love to see this, that they still have that fire to win this season.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You need a little bit of fire. You need that fire to show that you care, and growth from Joel for sure, because I think he handled this better than I think he would have in the past. You know, I've seen some of the blowups he's had with teammates, and he's usually not the one that's like trying to calm somebody down. Usually people are trying to calm him down. So he's shown a lot of maturity. I'm sure that is due to him being a parent and working with children and kids and having to keep your patience and your temper. But it was good to see him and Kelly kind of talk this one out and handle it themselves. They didn't have to have coaches get in between, or, you know, it was a fight happening. We've seen stuff happen in Lakerland. We've seen stuff happen in many other situations where things have gotten out of control. So it was good to see them to be able to do this on their own, you know, figure it out. Obviously, words and anger and, you know, heated emotions came about, but you need that. It shows you care, and sometimes, you know, you get it off your chest. Now there's a newfound respect for each other. You know, back in the day, guys used to fight all the time, be friends the next day.
Yeah.
They don't do it as much anymore.
Let the win streak happen. It's coming, guys. It's coming. The win streak's around the corner.
Right. A fight can help and, you know, make or break a team or build a bond. So it's great to, you know, have, sometimes you need that.
All right. Well, we'll find out. We're going to take a quick break. That man has a family on the other side.
Run it up.